wow, if we get the older generation with $97 trillion and they're investing 10 times as much as the younger crowd, and they're putting it into vaults with the intention of never touching it and passing it on to heirs, well, that could take a lot of Bitcoin out of the market. So today, I'm going to make the observation that the crypto market needs old people, like me. Actually, older people, and we're going to talk about that in a second. This is Crypto for the Rest of Us, 6 days a week, tip, tool, coin analysis, every day talking about the market and what's going on. Let's talk about short-term and long-term. So short-term, everyone's excited. We just had a halving not so long ago. It looks like if the charts play out and the liquidity plays out, that we're going to go into another bull run. Of course, now it is August of 24, and we're looking at a presidential election coming up, potentially more liquidity, potentially some Fed cuts. So what does that mean? It means in the short term, to me, short term is 12 months, even 2 years, because I'm probably older than most of you watching this. So in the short term, it looks like we could have a nice run up, maybe a correction, that sort of thing, typical market, right? But let's talk long term, because I'm a huge believer in crypto for the long term, and that we're literally just at the tip of the iceberg when it comes to some of these things. Let me explain why. Talk about money to invest, money in the market. Who were the early adopters of Bitcoin? Those people that really understood it. We all know this, right? More technical people. As time goes on, just like the internet, if you want the masses to join, it has to be easy to use and that sort of thing. So two things here with respect to long term. Did you know that people who are over the age of 55, I'm not quite there, close, that they have 10 times more wealth than people under the age of 40. Okay, there's a little gap there, but it's for a reason. Over 55 have 10 times more wealth than those under 40. That is significant. As of 2023, the stat that I saw was $97 trillion. Okay, so let's just think about, if we only have early adopters and we only have younger individuals and they're looking at a particular crypto and they say, I'm going to put $100 in. Well, a 55 plus person would be putting in $1,000. If you're looking at putting in 1,000 and you're under 40, a 55 plus would be looking at 10,000. You see where this is going. You're looking at 10,000 for a crypto, they're putting in 100,000. You're looking at 100,000, they're putting in 1 million. You want the market to 10x? Get predominantly 55 plus people to start joining. Well, how do you do something like that? Well, of course, ETFs, right? Because a lot of these individuals that are older have financial advisors, and they're talking about, here's an ETF for Bitcoin or Ethereum. If you happen to watch what some of the older generation watches, which is like business channels, you'll see that they do quote along the bottom on the ticker, they have been for about a year now, Bitcoin and usually Ethereum. So in most people's minds, crypto, at least the older crowd at the moment, is just thinking Bitcoin, because that's all they're hearing in the news, that's all they're being shown. So maybe they've started to get in with ETFs and that sort of thing. But then you need, for the masses, easy adoption, something that's simple like a Coinbase to get in and buy. But are they really going to be starting off by investing? This is an interesting article I saw. I should say it was on Twitter. This company, Theya, if you're familiar. And what Theya provides is they're basically saying, hey, we have an easy way. It's a vault for you to store your crypto. Wallets, self-custody wallets with, the single signature, the seed phrase, you could lose it, things like that. So we've got this solution. A vault is something that usually has multiple signatures, and typically you're going to be holding it in there for longer, right? The idea is your wallet's in your pocket, things go in and out easily. Your vault is somewhere else and it's locked up. You don't really take things out that often. That's the idea. But what does that mean? Well, I'm a huge believer that we're going to start seeing over the next couple years that the amount, for example, percentage of people with respect to Bitcoin and possibly other coins, when it comes to holding, hodling, that number, that percentage, I think is going to go through the roof, particularly because of vaults. And the older crowd will be getting into, well, if Bitcoin is another gold and I want to spread out some of my investments, I'm going to go into gold. And what they just launched here recently with this vault is that they've got a feature where you can buy Bitcoin and it goes directly into your self-custody vault, self-custodial vault. So they've got a short video here But it essentially shows you, we'll just fast forward, you can see here, buy directly in your self-custody vault. They just show Bitcoin, they show you just click to buy, it's hooked up to your bank account, and it's going to go right where, because here's your bank account, there's your vault name, it goes right into your vault. But here's what's interesting. I read one of their blog posts, and here it is. They talk about they're doing a partnership with the Bitcoin Advisor. But what struck me as interesting is part of how they're pushing this is, with multiple signature, you can share your signatures with someone else. That's great. So if you're an older individual, you're sharing it with maybe your heirs or your children or your grandchildren or an estate planner or an attorney. And that's what's interesting. They talk about, and they're pushing comprehensive estate planning. We offer a detailed estate plan protocol ensuring your Bitcoin can be transferred to your beneficiaries securely and legally. If you're not familiar, when you get older, you've got, of course, you do nothing, and the court will just distribute assets. And then you've got a will. Well, the will still has to go through probate. And then, of course, you've got trusts. And the initial trusts were because taxes were so high when you gave things away that people would put it into a trust, and then the trust would move. And anyway, you're avoiding some taxes, and it gets into a lot more complicated. But in essence, it's called estate planning. So what this means is that they're pushing, hey, if you've got some of your assets in Bitcoin, here's a great way. You click to buy, it goes right into your vault. Don't ever touch it. Matter of fact, just let it pass on to your heirs when you pass away because it's going to be that valuable. Wow. If we get the older generation with $97 trillion and they're investing 10 times as much as the younger crowd, and they're putting it into vaults with the intention of never touching it and passing it on to heirs, well, that could take a lot of Bitcoin out of the market. That's my prediction. That's my thought. I think we can all see where this is going. Nothing's slowing down. So in my opinion, we need the older people. And as they come into the market, it's going to be very interesting to see how Crypto.com or Coinbase or others start marketing their products and services over the next 12 months. We're going to keep an eye on that because the more they push it to the people that have 10 times more money than the younger crowd, the more it could significantly take off. It's just what I wanted to show you today. Sometimes take a step back, look at the big picture. Personally, I'm in all sorts of altcoins. I have some Bitcoin, but pure transparency, a while ago when it took off, I sold quite a bit so I could move into altcoins for this bull run. But I do still have some Bitcoin, and I'll probably move some back into Bitcoin when this is all said and done, if it takes off like I think it will. Have a great day, and let's make generational wealth together with crypto. Thanks for watching.